Right, splicing lead core. First of all, you want to pull out about 3 inches of lead core, snap that off, and then smooth it back over. So then you end up with 2.5 to 3 inches of lead core, well, with no lead in it. Then we need splicing needle. Open the gate, and you want to find the end of that lead and pop the needle in right where it ends. Oops, quite fiddly. Right, and then you push the needle up inside the lead core for about, I don't know, just over an inch, and then pop him out. Right. Then we need, well, in this case, solar PVA bag swivel to go on the end of our lead core. Put the lead core through the eye, and then we want to hook our splicing needle in right just before it starts to fray and flick the latch over. Now, this is where a lot of people break splicing needles, and really there's just no need for it. You don't need to pull at all, you don't need to put any pressure, just keep smoothing it. I haven't put any pressure on it whatsoever, and then when you get right to the end, it should just pop straight out. And there was no pulling, there was no stress on that beta needle whatsoever, on that splicing needle whatsoever. And we've created a perfect splice, about, well, just over an inch long. Scissors. Silly me, forgot to get scissors out. So we'll snip that off as close as possible to where it exits. Stupid scissors. Right, job done. Yep, so now we have a perfect splice with a PVA bag swivel on the end. So we need to pull off our required amount of lead core. For this rig, 4 feet is plenty, so we'll chop off there, and then we need to do exactly the same at this end as we did the other end. We're about 3 inches, just over 3 inches perhaps. Pick it off, then come back to this end and smooth it all down, so now you end up again with an empty section about 3 inches long. Splicing needle once more. Forgive the nerves, cider last night. Right, here we are. Just over an inch again, and pop him out. This time we don't want a swivel. We definitely don't want a swivel. This time we just want a little loop. You can use needle knot. It's probably a better idea to use the needle knot, but for the point of this video, we'll just use a loop. So I've spliced a small loop for means of attaching the line to the lead core. We'll leave that little fray, it's not going to cause any harm. Right, so now we have perhaps not 4 feet, but just over 3 feet of lead core with a solar PVA bag swivel at one end and a small loop at the other end. So now we need our lead. Right, put a lead on the lead core can be quite tricky, and I've lost my bait needle. Right, use this one. Bait needle through, hook the lead core on the end. Right, we won't use that, we'll use a splicing needle actually, if it's long enough. Right, here we go. lead core on the end of the splicing needle. Whoops, it's come off. And put him through the lead. Right. Pull the lead down and lock him tight onto that solar bag swivel. Right, at this point now you're thinking it's a helicopter rig, and you're right. So now we need a swivel with a quick link attached. That comes down. This is a ring swivel, just easier to go over the stem of the lead. And then instead of a tail rubber, because the tail rubber might not come off our knot at this end, what I'll do is I'll use an 8mm ESP rubber bead. And you see it's got a wider hole one end than it has the other. We want the widest hole to go to the lead, so we'll pull the lead core through with the widest hole facing the lead. Right. What that does then is that will sit on the end of that lead stem and create our bolt effect. But should that lead get caught, then the swivel will pull off, and that bead will come off the end of that lead core very, very easily. See, simple. Now we've got to put the bugger back on. So that is a very, very safe and efficient bolt effect rig with lead core that's hopefully not going to cause any damage to any fish. To that quick link then we'll attach our rig. Just picked up any old rig to the quick link. Put a silicone sleeve over, and that will fish. Put a PVA bag onto the ring swivel, hook the hook into the PVA bag, and it's anti-tangle, an effective rig. Job done.